So once we've decided on our various searches and selected some articles, what we want to do is go ahead and take notes on the articles. I want to point out in this section, which is basically talking about how to use the tools that are available, how to highlight, take notes, and download articles, that the first thing that you really want to do is sign in on your Google Drive. So I've kind of made a big thing right here, save document citations and highlight on Google Drive. Go ahead and sign in. You can see I'm signed in as Victoria. And I'm going to look at this article. It's just an overview. It's a reference article on the Black Power movement. And as stated before, I can look at the level of reading, which is intermediate. Some of the tools that are available are over here. I can see that I can use all kinds of things. I used to tell students to email the articles to themselves, but now I don't do that. I download it. We used to download as PDFs. Now I tend to download straight to Google Drive because it's shareable with both your group members and your teachers. Makes it really handy. So signing into Google Drive first is what you want to do when you know that there's articles you want. Okay. We are going to look at saving and highlighting them. But first, there's just this, I want to point out a couple of tools. And one is this listening tool. If you click on it, it will read the whole article to you. I really don't want to do that for the sake of time. It is kind of a little bit of a computerized voice, but it's not bad. So if you're having a hard time with the article, there's an idea. There's also this translation tool down here. And if you have a problem with English, if English is your second or third language and you're reading a very difficult article, you could translate into many other languages. But again, this translation tool is computer translation. It won't be exactly perfect, okay? So we have all kinds of ways of dealing with the article. Let's look at the highlighting and notes, though, because those are, I think, probably the most fun. And what I want to do is just take something from here. I think maybe not the most important thing, but because I don't want to take too much time, I'm going to look at how the Black Panthers got their name. I think there was something in here on it. Yeah, so right here, and I can just highlight. I can just hold down and highlight the same way that you would highlight anything and then let go. Notice when I let go that a little floating toolbar comes up that says highlight, notes, etc. When I click on the highlight, it'll give me several options, and I like yellow just because it's bright, but your teacher might ask for different things like, hey, highlight the main, topics in yellow and the supporting sentences in blue or whatever. So if your teacher tells you to do something like that, make that happen. But I'm just going to use yellow here. The other thing is that you can do notes. So right next to that is notes. So when you click on that, a note bar comes up. And then you know what notes are. You know how to take them. Either say why you're highlighting this or what it means or why it's significant or how you intend to use it in your presentation or paper. Okay. And then go ahead and save your note. Now, when you do this, you will notice that over here on the tools where it says highlights and notes, it now says 1 because I have just done one of that. And when I click on it, it'll show me what that was. This is the text that I highlighted. I highlighted it in yellow, and this was the note that I wrote. So that makes life really handy for me. Another thing that I can do is point out to you that down here on the bottom of the article, this is kind of a longer article, gives you some further reading. It does give you the source citation. I want to point that out. I did point it out in the images, but just so you know, every single source that you use on the database will give you a source citation. And if you are using your Google Drive, you can always create folders and create documents and just start throwing that stuff in there. A document for your works cited page, things like that. You can copy and paste your citations for the articles that you're using. So it's there, and you don't have to create it yourself, which again is really time-saving and really handy. Part of the reason why this is valuable is not just because it passes the CARP test, that everything is credible, authoritative, reliable, has a good purpose, but also because it's easier to use and it saves you time. And as a student, that's something you've got to appreciate. Okay, let's say I now have this article and I want to download the article rather than other ways of sharing or anything. I want to just get it onto my Google Drive. And again, I am signed in to my Google Drive already. So I'm going to go ahead and click on download the article, and it's going to give me some options to save it to Google Drive, Saving it to OneDrive is a Microsoft. And so if I were there, I would sign in here up here with Microsoft. That's something different, but because our schools in the Chaffey Joint Union High School District are going toward Google Apps for Education, I'm going to go ahead and stick with Google Drive. So that's going to be my preferred download option. And I'm just going to click on download the article. Okay, very quickly, it says that it has appeared in Google Drive. And so I'm going to say okay. And what I'm going to want to do is to go to my Google Drive. And I think I'm going to have to go to that separately, which provides you with a different tab. And so what I want to do is go to another tab right now. I'm going to try to open that for you so that you can see it. Let's see if I can get there. Sorry, I do want to get on this other tab. So record this tab. All right, so let's see if we can record this tab. This is my Google Drive. I drop in and notice that there is going to be a folder for the Gale databases. That one I created. There's one here that says Student Resources and Context. I did not create this folder. As soon as I tried to save that article, this folder was created by Student Resources and Context and put it into my Google Drive because I was logged in there. This is really handy. The same thing will happen to you. When you save an article and you go into your Google Drive, just look for this little orange folder and it says Student Resources and Context and open it up. And then any articles that you save from Resources and Context will be in that folder. And you can see the last one that I was looking at, the most recent one is on top here, the Black Power movement. And so if I open it up, I am going to again go to a different tab. Sorry. And so I have to bring you to that tab as well. Let me record that tab. Okay, hopefully now you can see this next tab. And we're on the Black Power movement. This is the article that we were just looking at, only it looks sort of like a PDF now, even though it's on Google Drive. Notice that the article does have the same highlighting that I made. And if I cursor all the way down to the bottom of the article again, it still has our source citation, which is very, very handy because we're going to need it for our works cited page. And if I had forgotten to use it, it would be there for me still. And so I wouldn't have to look back, saving me time. Here is the text that I highlighted at the bottom. This is sometimes handy for teachers because if they want to see what you highlighted and whether it makes any sense, they'll just go directly to the bottom when you share it with them on your Google Drive. Notice it is highlighted in yellow because that's the color I used. And then at the end it says notes and it just puts the notes that I wrote. Again, handy for teachers because they want to see what notes that you wrote and if they made any sense. And so that's one way that I can just find my articles in a really, really, really simple way. Okay, that's handy, and that's it for now.